Buddies, how you all doing? So today it's going to be a very simple video regarding one topic where I get a lot of queries, not only on YouTube, not only on Facebook. Also, being the ambassador of YouTube, I host a lot of trainings at Google office in Hyderabad where I meet a lot of young YouTubers, aspiring YouTubers who ask me one question all the time, and that is, the moment they get a thought onto their mind about starting a YouTube channel, they ask me, Vikas, which DSLR should I buy? Now, I have answered this to a lot of people, and there are a lot of myths about DSLR. So I thought I'll make a video and talk about this. So here we go. Do we need a DSLR for vlogging? Point one. And specifically, as this channel is more or less primarily focused towards motorcycles, do we need a DSLR for motovlogging? Now, I will give you the answer at the end of the video, but first, let us understand in brief what is a DSLR, because we think we know, but many people do not know in detail what it is. That's absolutely fine. Even I learned only a few years ago. Now, a DSLR is not any camera which looks like this. Even this is not a DSLR. Yes, a DSLR would look like this, but understand, it is digital single lens reflex. Now, what it means is that, first of all, on a DSLR, the lens that you see here, this one, should be detachable. It should be able to come off. That is the first criteria, but not the only criteria. The next is that when you take this off, inside would be a sensor, but in front of the sensor, you would see something that is a mirror, an actual mirror. What that mirror does is, when light gets into the lens from here, that falls on the mirror. And that mirror would send the light, the actual image, up like a periscope to the viewfinder. Okay, and the biggest advantage of having a mirrored DSLR is that, understand, DSLRs were primarily focused on photography and not videography. They became good with videography later on because the world started focusing a lot on video. But a mirrored DSLR, the reason it has a mirror is that when I'm shooting a subject, it could be a lady, a man, or just an object. When I'm shooting it, I would want to look at the exact, actual, real thing that is in front of me. So when light goes into the lens and falls on the mirror, I would see exactly what is here, and then I would set my focus and do the other setting, the aperture, the shutter speed, and other things, the ISO, etc. So if you don't have a mirror, that is known as a mirrorless. Now, that is not known as a DSLR. Even mirrorless cameras they look exactly like this, but there would be interchangeable lenses too. Even in mirrorless cameras, you can take the lens off and put a different lens, but they are not DSLRs. The difference is that it has a sensor, it has a lens, but in between there is no mirror. So what happens when light gets into the lens here? It would fall directly on the sensor, and it would have a viewfinder, but it is known as an electronic viewfinder. So now there is a disadvantage of having an electronic viewfinder. That is, the image that you're seeing is not the live image in like how you would have it on a mirrored DSLR. So it is not really great for photography, but for videography it is superb. Now, the third category is a mirrorless fixed lens. Now, this is primarily a digital camera, like any other digital camera that you see, a small pocket camera, but this has gigantic zoom. This has 65x optical zoom. It is fixed lens. You cannot take this off. You cannot put other lenses, but you get full manual controls. You can do aperture. Aperture is opening up, I'll go into details later, but sending more light onto your sensor. You can do shutter speed manual, you can do ISO manual, and you can do manual focusing. So that is the reason I don't use a DSLR for vlogging or motovlogging, but I use this. Now the cameras, the hybrid cameras like these are absolutely awesome, and this is what I recommend to people when they are starting off, especially when they are into adventure stuff like motorcycle video logging, because when we are shooting motorcycle videos, you wouldn't want to carry too much stuff with you. Now you have one motorcycle, you have one tank bag, or sometimes you have panniers and a tail bag or a top bag. So you have very limited space, and also when you're on a motorcycle you wouldn't want to carry too much of sensitive stuff which can break. So carrying a camera like this, which can shoot 65x optical all the way from there to macro. Macro is something very close. No other camera, no DSLR can do that, because in DSLR, generally when you buy a DSLR, there's a huge expectations versus reality myth. Now people, when they look at, when they think about buying a DSLR, they look up YouTube videos and they see, wow, this is awesome, I'm going to make videos like this. But you know what, it doesn't happen, because when you buy a DSLR, say you go and buy an 80D or whatever, you're buying it with a kit lens, and kit lens is a very ordinary lens. To get cinema kind of a video, you need something known as a prime lens. I'll get into the details later, but a prime lens, what it does, it has very low aperture rating, f-stop rating. It can go down to 1.8 and sometimes even lower. That way more light is going inside, and it is fixed. You can't zoom in or zoom out. That way the optics are way better. So you need to invest in a prime lens. You'll be spending about 8,000, 10,000 or upwards. A lot of money. And plus prime lenses don't have optical image stabilization. Then you would need a stabilizer, because if you have a prime lens and hold your camera with your hand, there'll be too many micro jitters. And also another thing, remember, even if you buy a DSLR, a mirrorless or a fixed lens like this, you always need to buy an external mic, because the onboard mics are they're almost crap. So unless you're just having your camera right in front of you, they catch every kind of noise and sound, and your videos are going to be bad, because audio is a major part of your YouTube video. So no matter which camera you're buying, a DSLR, a mirrorless or a fixed lens mirrorless, make sure it has a jack where you can put in your external mic. If it doesn't have a jack, it doesn't have a horseshoe where you can put in your mic like this and connect it like this here, it doesn't make any sense buying it for YouTube videos. All right, keep that on your mind. So buddies, my friend Bulu Bhai is going to ride in the sand in Hundar, and I'll be videographing him. चलो देखते हैं, मजा आएगा यार. And another factor is that if you buy a DSLR and take it out for your motorcycle videos, now you say you went to Ladakh. I took this camera when I went to Ladakh. What would happen is that you would carry a kit lens with you. And in kit lens, say you're only carrying a kit lens, the optical zoom is very less. In layman's terms, it will be about, I think, about 3x optical zoom. So what will you zoom? Can you zoom into mountains? You can't zoom into mountains. And can you take a very close-up shot of a beautiful flower or something? You cannot, because it can't do macro. So you would have to carry 3 lenses. One is a macro, and I would suggest a prime, and a kit, and a telephoto lens. Telephoto means a zoom lens. So probably you'll carry 4 lenses. That is a lot of baggage, sensitive, expensive baggage on its own. And also, the biggest disadvantage of having to change lenses in open outdoors is the dust that would, the moment you open this up, you're exposing the sensor and the mirror. And if you're exposing that to dust, and if dust gets inside, it's not good. So, I wouldn't recommend changing lenses in outdoors. And also, the most important thing on any camera, it could be a small point and shoot, it could be a DSLR, mirrorless, fixed lens, whatever. For YouTube purpose, you need to have this, that is a screen that would turn around so that you can look at yourself here and vlog. Not just for vlogging, even if you set it on a tripod, you would still need to look at yourself, right? For framing. So now Sony cameras are awesome, but most of the Sony cameras don't have a screen which flips towards you. It only kind of opens up and tilts. A Sony, a camera like the WX500, the pocket camera which I have, that has a flip up screen, which is awesome. But Sony mirrorless interchangeable lenses, they don't have a screen like this. Most of them don't. So make sure of these 3 points. Buy a flip screen, turns around, and buy a mic. This is a Rode Video Micro. I'll put up the link in the description. You can buy it about 6,000 rupees on Amazon, and this is absolutely awesome. And this one is about 29,000 rupees on Amazon. Absolutely awesome. I've been using it for 1 year. It's a Canon Canon SX60 HS. All right. And the only disadvantage is not so great in low light. But again, most of the time you're shooting in bright light. But if you put up, a couple of lights here, there, this would perform awesome. And the next thing I would say is a Panasonic Lumix. I forgot the model number. I'll put it up in the description. That is also an awesome fixed lens mirrorless camera. It has got a 1-inch sensor, huge sensor. Bigger sensor means better performance because it can take more light onto the sensor. That thing costs about 50,000 rupees. You can check it out. It's not a DSLR, fixed lens, mirrorless. So I guess that is it, friends. And the answer is that DSLRs are awesome, but don't buy it as your first camera equipment if you're starting off on YouTube, because you would need zoom, you would need macro, you would need lot of stuff, and buy something like this which can do most of it for you. And that is it, I think, from my side. And I thought I'll also introduce my new stuff, new gadgets that I bought. So this is a DSLR slider. See what I'm saying, it's a camera slider, all right. It can slide anything that you put it onto. This, it's like this, okay. Now I have a camera. You put it here, and be very careful with cameras. No, it's not great to drop them. All right. So you have it here, and you can get absolutely awesome shots. If you have some products here or some, anything, just pull it. Beautiful shots you can get, and you really can't do it with your hand. Very versatile slider this is. I was thinking to buy it off Amazon, but they're one of the cheapest sliders on Amazon. Was priced at about 6,500 upwards. So I got this from gearbest.com, only $40, $40 or $41. I got free shipping, and I got delivered to home with no customs duty, and got it within 5 days. Absolutely awesome, all aluminum construction. And this can be mounted onto a tripod, and a lot of variety of shots can be done. You can Google the use of the slider. I highly recommend this. No matter which camera you have, you can mount a cell phone also and try out shots. It's absolutely awesome, friends. The link for the slider is there in the description. You can check it out from gearbest.com. And also, what happened, I'll tell you a story. I bought another thing from Gearbest. Now, I'm a shopaholic, right? So I've been doing this fitness thing for quite some time. I was more of a fitness guy about 1 year ago, but I kind of got away from fitness, so I thought I should get back to fitness very seriously. So I do a lot of treadmill, walking. I don't take elevators so that I can walk stairs, climb up stairs. So I thought I should have a fitness band, you know, this fitness band, so that I can track my heartbeat, my steps per day, my sleep pattern and everything. So I thought I should get this one, and I was looking up gearbest.com. So I bought this from Gearbest for $20 only. And this, after buying this, something happened. That is, Geeky Ranjit, you know, I'm proud of his videos. He's from Hyderabad, but he made a video saying that don't buy this Lenovo. It's from Lenovo, by the way. This is a Lenovo fitness band. He made a video saying that don't buy it because he actually bought this. He made a fantastic review about a month or two ago, and he was very happy. But later on, when he did a software update, he said that he was not happy because the battery backup went all the way from 8 days to about 1.5 days, and a lot of things went wrong in the watch. So I got scared. I thought, oh, what did I order online? You know, Ranjit is saying that this watch is not good, but I thought it's only $20, so why should I cancel it? I got it anyhow from Gearbest. Again, no customs, no shipping, and this is absolutely awesome. I mean, I did not do the update as recommended by Ranjit, so that's one great thing. And this thing does checks my heartbeat. It has an infrared sensor down here, and really good form factor. For $20, like $1,100. So, you know, the link is there in the description just in case you want to check it out. And also, friends, a tip from my side about firmware updates and software updates. You know, these days we get updates for everything: cameras, action cameras, watches, cell phones, and everything. But don't be in a hurry, in a rush to do firmware updates, because I know the moment there's an update pop up, we think that I'm going to get something really new, really nice, but don't rush into it. Because if you're very happy with the current feature, and the odds of the company sending you a firmware update where that feature would get wiped out, or it would look different, it would operate different, is very high. So whenever there is a firmware update, read about it and understand what are the new features, would they be beneficial to you, and only then do an update on any of your products. Because if you do an update and if you don't like it, most of the times you can't roll back the update. It's not easy. Sometimes it's not possible. So that is something that I recommend. That is it. I think I'll get fitter. You know, every day I did some 3,000 steps in the last 1 day. So I think I should do more. My target is 10,000. Thank you, buddies. And if you're not subscribed to me, you're missing out on important tips and about 530 videos. Bye-bye.